Greetings, dear ones. Good morning and a very warm Sunday to all of you. I'm just trying to share this to my page. And as usual, I'm unable to do this. So I'm right now in an ashram in Karnataka, North Karnataka. Having a good time here. I came here yesterday and okay, I'm still wondering how do I do this. Anyways, I just want to continue my talk yesterday. Yesterday we were talking through the fields. I was walking through the fields and I was talking about managing life through awareness. So today's session also, I don't know how long, but I'll be liking to add a few more insights into awareness, consciousness, and all these aspects that we call. Yeah, greetings to all of you. Sonika ji, Poonam ji, welcome. So yesterday I was talking about something that I said, that life is a time pass. Life certainly is a time pass. If you look at our journeys that we come onto earth, we take on this human body and move on this planet, going about doing all our work and responsibilities, so-called responsibilities and all that. And at the end of life, we move out of it. This is why I call it time pass, because most of the time we are not aware of why we are born. We do not know why we are born. We do not know why we are living. We do not know our purpose. We do not know who we are. You know, it is unconscious living. Most of the time, if you look at it, it's unconscious living. Okay, we come into spirituality and we learn a little bit about what we are up to and all that. But if you look very deeply, spirituality also happens to us again through some kind of pain or misery or some kind of trauma that brings us into this, a deep questioning about who am I and where am I heading? What is this life about? Where am I going? Just 1 second. I am not knowing how to share this on my Jake page. And that's the problem. Greetings, Preeta ji. I don't find these buttons. Where do I share this? So this is always this kind of a problem. So whenever I do live on this page or that page, it only happens there. Yes, so I was talking about how it's an unconscious living. Most of the time we are not aware of our life. And before we can even understand what is life about, it passes away. And when it passes, we are passing through so many incidents. All that we have at the end of life is memories and incidents. This happened to my life, that happened to my life. All that we have accumulated. So many properties, so many friends, so many things, so many incidents. This is all that we have at the end of life. And most of the time, we become little alert and conscious just before leaving the body. That is how life works. Most of the time, when the life is leaving the body, suddenly someone becomes conscious. Conscious doesn't mean fully aware. It is just conscious about what is this life about. We have mentioned about this many times before also. There is a 20-second window when we leave the life. 20-second window. In that 20-second, everything flashes in front of you. Everything flashes. Oh, I didn't know that, Sonika ji. Thank you. Everything flashes in front of the eyes, and that 20 seconds you get a glimpse of what you have been up to the whole life. And most of the time in the 20-second, what happens is whatever we have held on very strongly in our memory, in our chitta, that only surfaces. So whatever, I mean to say, whatever we have consciously lived, that comes up in the 20-second window. Consciously living means you can be very conscious of your pain and suffering also. Somebody did something to me, this happened to me, that happened to me, all the stories. All these incidents, traumas, pain, suffering, tragedies, if it is held on with in our chitta, very consciously we captured it. Whenever an incident is happening to us, and we are very consciously grasping that memory, that is what forms the impression, samskara. Which then, group of samskaras become our karmas. As simple as that. How do we create karma? Anything in which we are involved, all the five senses is all together involved. The deeper the impact and intensity, the deeper that psychic impression and the stronger that impression, and stronger the impression, the more definite it is going to hold on to the chitta. So this remains as impression. That is why it is called impression. Samskaras are nothing but psychic impressions. They become impressions in the chitta, like grooves. So in simple terms, what I'm trying to tell you is, whatever you consciously put your attention on through your panchendriyas, through your five senses, whatever you are very conscious about, whatever you are deeply connected to, how it affects all the five senses affect you, that is going to create that impression. So if it is a joyful incident, if it is something of enthusiasm or something that brings you jitters and you're thrilled about it, and that also creates an impression. Same the opposite. So when this in our chitta, the accumulation, the accumulation that goes on is what is called as karma. All over the life which we have accumulated, this incident, that incident, good, bad, ugly, whatever the consequences, that forms in our chitta, and that becomes what we call as our life book. My story, my life story. So every single human being has got their own novels, their life story, their biography. And the whole life we keep on writing biography unknowingly. You don't have to consciously write your story. Your chitta is writing it. Unknowingly, it is writing. Your subconscious mind is writing it. When your subconscious mind writes the story, it has deep, lasting, everlasting imprints. Have you heard of Chitragupta? Chitragupta, as per Indian mythology, is someone who keeps a record of all your doings on earth. Not just this lifetime, all lifetime. Whatever you have done, the Chitragupta keeps writing your karma. That's how symbolically they have, or in a story way they have written it. But it's there. It's a truth. The Chitragupta writes every single incident into your novel, into your biography. And that is his role, Chitragupta. So the stories go like when you leave your body and when you are going on to the further life, do you go to heavens or do you go to another loka or do you come back as incarnation or you get a lower incarnation? All that depends on what the Chitragupta has accumulated. So how your story is written, that is reminded. It is read out. All your karmas are read out. This is what you have done, and according to this, reward or punishment, whatever. So if you see all the religion, Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, it's based on the Chitragupta. Even in Christianity, there is a Chitragupta who is there writing whether you should go to heaven or to hell. Even in Islam, there is. You can call that as an assistant of God. And Chitragupta is again from the Hindu philosophy itself. And it's very true. Now, who's the Chitragupta actually? In literal terms. Chitra, Gupta. Chitra means image. Gupta means secret. Or if you reverse it, Gupta Chitra means secret image. I remember this Chitragupta because yesterday while having dinner with Swamiji, Vijayanand Swami, he made a mention of this Chitragupta and that is lurking even right now. And this topic it is connected. So Chitragupta is nothing but your deep, deep consciousness. Your own mind, or you can call your subconscious mind, who is writing every single incident. Every single incident. Chitragupta is writing. You are the Chitra. And now see the meaning. Chitra means image or the impression what I'm talking. Every single life incident is an impression. It's an image. See, everything is an image. Any impression you take. If you have a memory that is coming up from your mind, do you think the memory will just come and go? In what form does it come? Is it sound? Is it light? It is frequency. It is image, if you see. Any memory you just think about it, it will come in the form of an image or a video, some incident. So if it is, you can retract back that image, memory what is called. If you can do that, that means it has been stored somewhere. If it is stored only, you can retract. Like from a mobile phone, you can go and see last year's picture also if you have saved it. Only if you have saved it. If it is deleted, you can't see it. Or your Facebook or whatever accounts, you can go and see all the saved, whatever files are saved, you can retract them back. The images can come back. So, if you want to see something of 2 years back or 10 years back that is there on Facebook or your mobile or your computers, and you want to retract it back 2 years back or 10 years back, that image comes up. Now that image comes up and gives you a whole impression. It can really, you can relive that experience. You can take out a video from your 10 years back or 5 years back, and when you look at it, you can relive that incidents. Now, why are you able to connect and relive that incident? Because it was stored somewhere. You had stored it. You had stored it. You had maintained it. That is the chitra. You had maintained it. Is it with you right now? It's not there. It's there somewhere in the memory of your cell phone or the mobile or the computer or Facebook or whatever. It's there. Right now it's not there. It's gupt right now. Gupt means it's a secret right now. You can't see it. It's hidden right now. Only when you go and trace it back, it becomes alive. So that chitra remains gupt in your memory. That is where your subconscious, deep subconscious realms, all this remains gupt. The only time you can reproduce it back is when you want it, and that too you have a limitation. You cannot reproduce all the pictures. Because the deeper you go in your subconscious, it is harder to find them. If you are evolved in your spirituality, the more the chances of going and retracting it back. If you are not evolved much, if the consciousness is not much, it is very difficult to go and get it. So those who are not evolved, if they have to get it back, they don't even have an idea of what all is hidden inside them. Very difficult. They do not have any idea of what all is hidden in them. And the only time all this chitra, gupta chitra comes up is at the time of death. The 20-second window. Now there is hundreds and thousands of impressions, innumerable impressions in our chitta. Which is going to come up? Everything cannot come up in 20 seconds. Those chitras come up which have been having dominance, which are very strong. And how do we know what is strong? The intensity with which it was captured and saved, the file. There are many files, you go to a picnic, you go to a tour or something, or you have a function at home, and then you keep on clicking pictures. Now you might have clicked hundreds of pictures. Now which do you remember the most? If you have gone for a marriage function, for example, and you are clicking everywhere. So the most precious might be when you're standing with the bride and bridegroom, when you have stood there and somebody has taken a picture, that is in your most memorable moment. Or it might be when there is a function going on and you have gone to a side and you have posed something in some nice dress and somebody took a nice picture of you and you appreciate it and it looked beautiful. Two pictures. Third might be with someone whom you can associate with, someone you love or someone you appreciate, you have taken with that person. So there are very few pictures which you have great attachment towards because they are special pictures to you. But do you remember all the small clicks that you have been taking? So many clicks you take, that doesn't be in your mind. This is the same way the Chitragupt also reproduces the memory. That which has been your favorite, that which you have had a strong attachment to, that which created a deep impact in your life, those are the ones that will surface during the time of death, the 20-second window. So it all depends on how we have lived the life. That is what I'm trying to come to. A life of awareness. If it has been a life of awareness, then you are aware, you're conscious of what you are creating. You are conscious of all the images that is coming to you. It's not that you will not have images when you are living a life of awareness. You will be more aware of this fact of not creating a deep groove or impact with all the pictures that's happening in your life. You will know that I should not take it seriously. Because if I take it seriously, it will create a deep impact in my chitta. And if it creates a deep impact in my chitta, it will remain there as a strong impression and create trouble for me again and again. The cause of punarabi janmam, punarabi maranam, the cause of life and death, repeated life and death that keeps on happening, this cycle, is because of these impressions. They are the cause, impressions are the cause for karmas. Karmas are the cause of repeated births and deaths. So someone said something to you very badly or did something very badly to you. You hold it in your chitta, in your deep pain and suffering and remorse. That person did this to me. Non-forgiveness. I can't forgive. It remains in your chitta. Now this is going to trouble you. Just this impression is going to trouble you. This chitra is going to trouble you. This chitra has gone gupta now. It has gone hidden after a few days, few months, few years. You might have forgotten the incident. But that moment when that incident happened, the reaction that you had, how strong it was, that has captured that picture so strongly. You can say you took that picture and you applied filters to it. You increase the contrast, the brightness, the rays, the curvature, the the saturation, the shadows. So you created a beautiful image out of that. One picture only, you modified it so much. Now that has become a deep, deep, crystal clear groove. Now that shows up during the time of death because that reminds you of what you did with your life. The 20-second window during the time of death is just a reminder as to you had come for something. You had a soul agenda, you came for something, and here is what you did. Here is what you are supposed to do as per your soul agenda. Before taking birth, you had decided. And now the life is ending. So here are the impressions of what agenda you had created. Does it match the completion? Most of the time, if life has been in unawareness, it will not match. If life has not been conscious, it will not match. So it will be something different. That is the time I said, at that time frame is when you become very conscious. Whole life you might have not become conscious. But at that time, life will make you conscious. Life will make you conscious. That death will make you conscious. So when you become conscious, you are looking at it very consciously as to all the flips, the films that are going. And whatever has been deeply stored in your chitta, that flashes in front of you. So if it has been all the flashes of remorseness, non-forgiveness, hatred, pain, suffering, guilt, doubt, embarrassments, revenge, this is what will flash at those moments. And the moment it all flashes, now the consciousness is at different state because it is fully alert and conscious and looking at things which it never looked at the whole life. The whole life it was not conscious, whole life it was not aware. But the 20-second window forces a human being to become conscious during the time of death. So forcefully, that person sees in full clarity and sincerity. There is nothing else to distract. Whole life we get distracted from our life purpose. Something or the other is there to distract us. But that time during the death period, that time frame, there is nothing else, no distraction. You are having complete ekagrita of that. And that is the time you relive those moments, immediate moments and flashes as to whether you call it a successful life or an unsuccessful life. Whether you feel contented, oh yes, all this beautiful. If it is all successful flashes that you're having, you will be contented. Wow, lived it, done it. If it is not, and if it is reverse, there will be guilt and repentance. Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, I missed that. Oh, I should have done this. Oh, I should have said sorry to that person. Oh, I should have cleared this doubt. Oh, I should have got even with that. Oh, I should have finished off that dealing. Oh, I should have given love. Oh, I should have forgiven. Oh, I should have done this work. Oh, I should have done it this way. You know, all that time in clarity it is there, 20-second, but it's just a 20-second window. So this, imagine the rapid rate of all this happening, you know, all these things coming, and the chitta is, the consciousness is looking at it and immediately deciding whether it was done properly or not. So depending on that depends the afterlife. The exit happens with contentment or with remorseness or with repentance. This has not happened. And there is no other choice. There, at that moment, there is no choice for the soul to decide anything. It is just a feedback session that's happening. So all that a consciousness does is witness that and understand the sequence in that time. So depending on that, the next life is created. So when out of the body, everything is very clear. This was not done. This. Things are incomplete with this person. This place is karmic debts incomplete. Now when out of the body, I got to do it. I missed it. So the only focus at that time will be how to complete it, because that's how the natural process of life happens. It is only on completion. It wants to complete. Our whole life is that way. The whole life is designed in that way, to neutralize. Prakriti works in that way. It balances, neutralizes. So anything is off balance, it will automatically try to balance itself. That's how nature is. That's how the human consciousness, the soul also is. So if there has been imbalance, it will automatically try to balance it now. So if there has been any kind of repentance and a feeling of guilt or something has not been done, now it will try to do it and fortify, neutralize it. That is when the soul genuinely starts working now. This is incomplete, this is incomplete. Let me do this again. So the whole process repeats itself. And we come back again. And we have been doing this for eons. We have been doing this multiple times. Why have we been doing this? We have been doing this multiple times because of the lack of awareness. If we live ignorantly, then all these processes automatically happens like on autopilot. It's always balancing itself automatically. Your prarabdha, it keeps on balancing itself. Even if you don't do anything, it will carry on. Life will just carry on. It will try to balance. Balance with what? It will try to finish the karmic debts. See, that is why there are two ways always. Consciously creating something through your free will, or allowing creation to create through divine. See what I'm trying to say? Because the other day we were having a session. Just I was talking this day before yesterday or yesterday, day before yesterday, at a doctor had signed up for the personal session, and the question was, if I am creating, where is the question of divine will? Because I am the creator. I am the creator of my destiny, then I am creating all the time. But if we say everything is on divine will and surrender, then where is the point of me creating things? Very smart question. And that's what I'm trying to say here. One is we consciously create our life. Now consciously, how do we create? It's again based on your chitta. Whatever is lying pending in your chitta, in the Chitragupta diary, in the diary of the Chitragupta, that will try to balance itself automatically. So the thoughts that come into your mind all the time is coming from where? The balance remaining karmic debts. Automatically the thoughts are coming in that fashion only. Like for example, if you have a vasana or a kamana, or something, you had a deep desire for something, you are craving for that. Let us say you wanted a very beautiful house in a lifetime and you couldn't build it, and you died without building it. So that dream was unfulfilled. Now the psychic impression or the chitra that has been created is the dream of that house. So immediately, let us say as an example, during the exit point, this house didn't create it. Now this has become your obstruction. It should have been liberating. Life should have been liberating. No liberation. Because this is in your chitta, this kamana, this desire is in your chitta, big house, lavish house. So you'll exit the body with this desire. Now this desire is enough to bring you back to another human body and to take you to such a yoni, such a family, such a place, such an environment which can help you create a beautiful, good house. Depending again on your balance account of Papa Punya. That also works. See, it's so complicated. Desire means just not easily desire. There are obstacles to that desires also. See, the very incident that this lifetime the person was not able to create a beautiful house is because of the prarabdha. There is some obstacles of some opposite karma that's working out. That is also playing its play. But What I'm trying to say is, during the exit, the final balance sheet was that the house was not created. So the whole account will come to there. The house is not created. So if it is not created, what is the balance in Prakriti? Created. Not created is pending, unfulfilled. Now to complete it is fulfillment. Fulfillment means has to be created. When it is created, that kamana is over. The desire is over. Only then it becomes neutral. So you can see how many thousands of such kamanas and vasanas are there within us, that is in the incompletion stage. And we take new births for that. That is why the stress so much on life of awareness, whatever I'm talking here right now. We must be aware all the time, 24/7, where anything and everything can lead us to. How much bondage things can lead us to. When you live in awareness, you will be very careful with the choices. If you live in non-awareness, ignorantly, unconscious state, what will happen is a desire comes and you will simply blindly want to fulfill it. Simply. Something comes to your mind, simply. There is no awareness. Oh, you like, okay, let me have that. It's a desire that is created. You have added one more imprint to your chitta. Spiritual beings will never do that. They'll be very cautious because you are trying to finish off your chitta, all the impressions in the chitta. Why will you unwantingly add things which will create a burden for you? And who's going to clean up that? Only you and only you. No savior, nothing from outside can come and clear the chart that you have created. So when you are out of life, imagine. This house is just one example I gave you. This way, there are thousands of desires unfulfilled. Now, all those desires, pending desires, will start creating a new life for you automatically. You don't have to do anything. Whether you are conscious or unconscious, automatically life will design in such a way, it will find a yoni, it will find a place which can fulfill all those desires along with the other prarabdha, the destiny, the karma, the obstacles also that will come with it. Everything, the pros and cons, the permutation and combination is prepared in such a cosmic intelligent fashion, and then you get born into one family. It might be immediate, or it might take time, or it might take eons. It all depends on all these factors. And the availability of a womb or that kind of a space, along with all the karmic depths that you have, so many people, so many things you have done, so many relationships, this, that. Now you got to play another role with them. So maybe they are in the bodies. So maybe you live suspended. The soul is suspended till then, waiting for the right opportunity for them to create. You see the kind of activity that is involved. Nature is very patient. It can wait for even for thousands of years. And it happens. Not all life immediately happens. New life. It takes some time, hundreds or thousands of human years to remain suspended, to get a new birth. And then a new birth. In that, all this list is again there. Why you have taken birth now? Agenda is very clear. Why have I taken this birth? List this. All pending karmic debts and everything is there. Why this list? Because life is trying to balance it. The moment you finish all these karmic debts, you become nil. You become shunya. That is the state of enlightenment when all your karmas are over. That is how simply life tries to always balance. It's always balancing. So you do an act of karma, life will automatically do another act of karma to balance that. You do one thing, nature automatically creates another thing to balance. You do a negative karma, nature will try to bring a positive karma into your life to balance it. You do a positive karma, nature will automatically bring a negative activity to pull you down to that neutrality, to balance it. The whole thing is about balance because balance is mukti, shunya, the zero, that stillness, that is mukti, yeah, that's liberation. So the whole attempt of life is to liberate you whether you like it or not. Whether you want liberation or not, nature, cosmos is always balancing and bringing you to that zero level. Now there are two ways of living this. One is unawakened. You are just going by the flow. Nature is throwing you in this circumstances, that circumstances created this life, keeping on repeating birth and death cycle because it's trying to balance itself and you are going with the flow. The other is living in consciousness and awareness. You're completely aware of your life. What happens in that? In that, what happens is you are completely aware of why you are here. When you are completely aware of what you are supposed to do in this life, all your consciousness and energy, you are now very much focused on getting those things done at ease. Your priorities change. Your priorities come to what you want to finish off in this life. Your priorities are to finish off the karmic debts with people because you know that has been your bondage. You don't want bondage. You want to neutralize life. So you immediately become an aware being, Jagrit, Jagruk. And you live a conscious life. Not forgetting your purposes of life, main purposes of life. First you become aware of all the petty things in life. How do you know? How do you know this? There is an inclination. The kamna will bring you that kind of thoughts and cravings into your life. That is an indication. You have a certain attraction towards a certain person. Whatever you do, you can't control it with your mind. That's a karmic debt. Awakening you, telling you there is something unfinished with that person. You're not happy with your parents, or you're not happy with your children. They are doing something to you which you don't like. No, there is a karmic debt. There is a balance that is being trying to form there. There is suffering that is coming from some person. Somebody is doing something, or somebody without cause did something to you. Know that it's a karmic debt. Somebody is fulfilling that karma, balancing that karma. This is what I said. This is life of awareness. So when negative happens to you, you are fully in awareness. You know now that is not a fluke thing that has just happened out of this. So you don't have to feel pity. Oh my poor me. Somebody troubled me. Somebody damaged me. Somebody did this to me. Somebody did that to me. Somebody cheated me. This will go because you know whatever that somebody has done to you is a karmic balance. This is life of consciousness. A person who is not conscious and aware will brood in victimization and self-pity. Bachpan se ye ho gaya. From childhood this has happened. Childhood I didn't get good this. My parents were this way. Then my siblings were this way. Then my circumstances were this way. Then my school was this way. My friends were this way. My relatives were this way. My boyfriend, girlfriend was this way. My husband, wife was this way. My children are this way. Whole life is a misery. My business went this way. My work went this way. A conscious person, an aware person will know. Oh, life is balancing itself. A conscious and aware person will be more happy if these things are happening, that something is trying to balance itself. I must support this balance. An unaware person will struggle, resist, and fight that and create more impressions. Chitragupt. An aware person will not do it because they know if they react to it, they are adding on to that karmic debt. A conscious aware person doesn't want more lifetimes. If not mukti in this lifetime, at least he or she is not trying to create another 10, 20, 50, 100 janmas. Maybe he or she is okay with another 1 or 2 janmas. Okay, fine, but they'll be very conscious. So the whole script changes. The whole definition changes. The whole ideology changes. The whole philosophy of life changes. Now, you look at life with a new perspective. All the people in your life, you are now observing. All the incidents in your life, you are now observing. You have no regret with your past. Past is burned to ashes because whatever happened in the past was meant to happen. Nature is balancing itself. Prarabdha it is called. This is called prarabdha. In normal layman terms, we call it karma. My karma. Oh, this is my karma. Or my prarabdha. See how it happens. One second. Sorry. Somebody was trying to just join the video. Vinod Avasti, it is said that prarabdha cannot be cancelled, it can be exhausted through sadhana without experiencing. No, not fully true. Not really true. Prarabdha karma is that which is allotted to you for this lifetime. Sanchita karma is the whole accumulated karmas, the whole balance sheet that you have. Let us say you have 10,000 karmas. 10,000 you cannot finish it in one lifetime. So let us say, hypothetically, just an example. 10,000 is divided into 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So what happens is you have 10 janmas to complete the 10,000 sanchit karmas. Each lifetime is 1,000 karmas. Each lifetime 1,000 karma is your prarabdha. 1,000 prarabdha, 1,000 prarabdha, 1,000 prarabdha, it goes on. And all prarabdha put together is your sanchit karma. Now what is allotted to you in this lifetime will come to action. Prarabdha cannot be directly influenced. Sanchita can be influenced through sadhana. Or whatever means you're doing. Papa, punya, punya. Punya if you're doing. Seva if you're doing. If you're helping others. If you're doing good deeds. If you're bringing more merits into your life. More positivity to your life. Living conscious awareness. Then that can reduce your sanchit karma. That is the whole balance. But your prarabdha that is allotted to you still plays a major role because you are supposed to complete it in this lifetime. You cannot alter your prarabdha directly. You can alter your sanchita. You can check it out with various sources. I've done my studies while I'm talking this. So when we say your karma can be worked out or reduced, it is the sanchit karma, remember, which can be dissolved, which can be burnt, which has not yet come into your quota. The 9,000 karmas, for example. There that can alter depending on various factors. There also there are various factors. But this 1,000 that is allotted to you, that is, which is your prarabdha, comes to action. It happens. Kriyaman karma in that is there. In the prarabdha, Kriyaman is that which is already set in motion. Set in motion means it has the karma has become ripe. Now, the phala is coming, the fruit is coming. That can never be altered. Kriyaman karmas. Amithurya, what about the intensity of prarabdha? Yes, that prarabdha which you have, the intensity can change, but you cannot completely dissolve it. The intensity can change. What changes the intensity? Grace, your punyas, your previous punyas or current punyas, or the grace of the Guru or the grace of God can alter the intensity of the prarabdha. That is why so much importance is given to grace. Kripa. If somebody is destined in the prarabdha to lose one hand, they might lose one fingertip. Intensity is used very strongly. Grace, kripa. But the prarabdha is still there. The seed and the fruit is still there. But the intensity and the quality of that karma change depending on the grace. That also has many factors. It is not like you do just, you have grace and everything. No, many factors are there. Many factors. And we cannot know that. We cannot know exactly what factors will affect what and which prarabdha will get affected or which sanchita gets deleted. You cannot know until you are a Mahatma of that state of consciousness who can tap into all this. That's a mighty state of consciousness. Normally, we cannot look into all that. But we do have an awareness, an idea of these things. And this idea and this knowledge or wisdom and this conscious awareness that we have, this will make one's spiritual life more evolved and more aware. Because now when you know this, you're just aware. There is no complaints. For example, if some little happens, something happens, then you start cribbing. Oh, my fingernail is gone, and finger. What happened? I was such a nice person, and my tip of this has gone. How much pain? It is taking me weeks to heal, and we keep on cribbing. Arey, you were supposed to lose a hand. Who will tell that? You don't know. We do not know what karma is happening to us. Whether that small thing which we are brooding and crying upon, who knows what was the intensity of that karma, and some kripa, some good merit has saved. That is why an aware person will have no complaints. That is why my Gurudev said, Jis vidhi rakhe, us vidhi rahiye. In whichever state you are kept by the Lord, stay in that happily. That is what he exactly meant by saying, Har hal mein khushi. This is the true meaning of Har Hal Mein Khushi. When you know this, only you can be Har Hal Mein Khush. If you do not know this, try it out. You will attempt to make some fake attempts to become happy, even when you're not happy. Usme rang nahi aayega. It will not be genuine. Try it out. Only when you have awareness, complete awareness of this whole thing and become conscious of your life, then in any kind of situations only, genuinely you can be happy. Because now you know the fundamentals, now you know the science behind it, now you know how it works. That conviction will give you happiness even in misery or in low states. Because then the soul will say, whatever is happening, I know is happening for good. A man does not become just positive by just positive thinking or positive joining a lecture on positive or having a seminar on how to become optimistic. No, you can't. Try it. You can't until you become completely aware of these fundas. Otherwise, that optimism is just for 2 days. 2 days you will do affirmations, 2 days you will stay happy, and third day you will struggle to stay happy. Fourth day you will fight to be happy, and fifth day you will lose the battle. And then the whole cycle will begin again. That's unconscious living. We do not know what we are doing. Where is all this coming from? So once we understand these fundas of how life functions, it becomes easy. Sonika, as the Guru says, Prarabdha will come no matter what. But with sadhana, seva, sankirtan, you can raise the vibration so the intensity and effect decrease. Absolutely. This is conscious understanding of the Guru's principles and the Guru's teachings. Consciously, we must understand what is the teaching of the Guru. Practical spirituality. I have seen many people saying that, oh, Guru has told, you just do sadhana, seva, sankirtan, and then your karmas will get dissolved. And then we go about doing any kind of nonsense. Guru has told. We are doing sadhana, no, that's enough. We are doing tapas, we are doing meditation. Dhyan kar rahe hain. So we are entitled to do everything because he has told, if you do this much, it's enough, it will burn your karmas. No way. Guru says prarabdha acts. But with that intensity of your vibrations and frequency, you can change the quality of that prarabdha, the effect of that prarabdha. So that helps, because if somebody is in very high vibes, it will affect that person. You see, when somebody is in very high consciousness, and if some low events are happening in life, there might be a little jerks, but they will move through. The one whose vibrations are not high, they will stop still there. They will dead drop there. And that prarabdha will be huge for them to handle. Too huge. You can see, look around the world and you just become aware and conscious and see. There are people, chota problems, they make it so big. They cannot handle it. Some incident happens in life and that person is broken down. Breakdown, nervous breakdown. What is that nervous breakdown? The frequency is not high and they are not unable to handle that prarabdha which has come to them. Which if their frequency was high, if the grace was high, the prarabdha is still there, but the effect decreases. This is conscious living. This is living a life of awareness. When we live unconsciously, we do not know. We are not focused on this principle of balance, this principle of mukti, this principle of liberation. What is the principle of liberation? In simple words, I'm explaining to you. Just balance, neutralizing it, bringing things to zero. That's it. Zero. When all your karmas become zero, you become shunya. And for that to happen, you need to support life. When life is trying to balance itself, you got to support it. You need not fight it. If you fight it, if you resist it, the trauma continues more. The karmas multiply. This is simple common sense in practical spirituality. If we do not walk with this awareness, whatever you do, whatever sadhana you do, whatever kind of seva you do, it will bring you back into zero level again. I mean the ground level again, back to square one, where we do good punyas, we do raise our vibes in sadhanas, we manage to affect the sanchit karmas, but unknowingly we also build up new karmas. And there is no sense in that. There is no sense in saying, I have got 10,000 karmas, for example, which I gave, distributed into 10 lifetimes, and now I'm doing tapas. And as I'm doing sadhana and tapas, for 1 hour, let us say 100 karmas decrease. It's not just, I'm just giving an equation, just for an example, hypothetical. So 100 reduced, that means 9,900 is still there. In 1 hour, you reduced 100 through tapas. Fine, it works. But what do you do in the next 24 hours. If you are living in unawareness, you can add up 600 more karmas. So what has happened at the end of the day? You said fine. It was 10,000, now it's 9,900. But by the end of the day, it has become 10,500, another 5 added to the list. Is that sensible? It's not. This is what I mean when I say all these practices are good, but without a life of awareness, you are going to jumble it up. Because, mind you, all the major karmas happen only in unawareness. All these chitras that has become gupt in your subconscious, all were created some or the other time only in unawareness. If you are aware, you wouldn't have created it, or you would have created it in a very light manner, not so strong. That's the plus point of living in awareness. And that's what I'm trying to actually add up. This is not a new path or something. It is just enhancing whichever path you are on. Be it the Bhakti Marga, the Raj Yoga, the Karma Yoga, the Jnana Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, whichever you take. Without awareness, it's not complete. I'll give you multiple examples. This I have all studied. I'm telling you, I've studied, I experimented on my life, I've experienced it in a certain way, and then come to conclusions, and then I speak with convictions. I'm not just speaking, reading from here, and these are all my life reflections that I'm giving as tips to those who want to make it useful. Because if I have made any mistakes in life, and if I have seen things in a certain way and understood things in a certain way, and if I'm trying to help someone with it, if you take it, it's fine. Otherwise, we can again create the same kind of stuff and relive life or learn through somebody's experience. As simple as that. So I can give you multiple experience in these examples. That without awareness, no paths work. No quality work happens there. It might happen, yes, it happens, because all these are prescribed ways, even in the Shastras and all the great masters before. These are all the paths, every single path, every single religion works to bring you to the final goal. But only thing, it has to have awareness in it. Consciously it has to be done, lived. Otherwise it doesn't work. For example, if you are, let's say, doing seva. You're doing seva, but you are not conscious. You're not aware. And you do seva. Seva means what? You are bending down in humility and below the person whom you are doing seva to. You become lower than that whom you are serving. And you do with no expectations. You are doing a seva with absolutely zero expectation. Then it becomes Nishkam Niswarth Seva. Can this happen without awareness? Because if you are not aware, you will do seva, but you will do a Swarthi Seva, unknowingly. You are giving it to something, somebody, something. You are doing a seva. Let's say you are gifting some food to some person who doesn't have food. Now what you are supposed to do in Niskam Seva? No Swarth. No expectations, absolutely. And you are below that person whom you give. This only becomes Nishkam Seva, and the phala, the fruit of that only happens then. If not, a conscious aware person will be humble down there,
will keep him or her very low and serve as though they are serving God. No expectations, with full of love, respect, humility. Now, if unaware, the same seva can become havoc, can have repercussions, can create a negative karma than a positive karma. It was intended for a positive karma, but we might end up with a negative. How? You are serving, and let's say that person is frowning. You are giving with love. Some poor person, and that person says, "Kya diya ye? What kind of food is this?" Suddenly you get a jolt. Reaction, you say, "Khana hai to khao, nahi to jao." Gone. That seva is gone for toss. There it proved that you are not humble. There it proved you are not inferior to that person. You tried to be superior to that person, saying that, dictating that this is I am giving you, take it and go if you want or not. And what has happened? It should have been unconditional, niswar, nishkam, but it became swarthi. There was expectation in it. You expected respect back from that person. You expected a gratitude from that person. You expected a thank you from that person, and that person was thankless. Forget being thankless. The person didn't even thank you. He or she gave a negative remark. You are not supposed to have expected. Because of your expectation, you felt offended. Gone? But what happens? An ignorant person who is not in awareness, not in conscious state, will do that karma and come back and be prideful. Say, I did. आज मैंने सेवा कर दी. आज ना 100 लोगों को तो खाना खिला दिया. आज हो गया. गुरुदेव ने बोला तो निष्काम सेवा मैंने कर दिया. I did my nishkam seva today. I'm so happy. And people start saying, wow, you did for 100 people? Yeah, the, वैसे थे and all that. What is the budget? Oh, budget, this is the thing that we happened, but ठीक है यार, सेवा ही तो है. Well, the Guru has told to do seva, so we are happy. सब Guru की कृपा, See, this is all hoaxness from outside. Everything has been just decorated from outside, and this ignorance is making us feel that we have completed a task. And so now we are entitled for punya. We are entitled now because we did that seva. Can you see the catch? Very sukshma, very subtle. But imagine if we keep on doing this kind of seva repeatedly, what are the counteracts? What are the repercussions that are adding on into our Chitragupt diary? We will not understand. That's what I said. Without awareness, no path works. This is what I said about seva is karma yoga. Lord Krishna said, when you do karma, connect to me and never feel that you are the doer. Doership should not be there. There should be a feeling and a bhav and intention that something is working through me. I am not the doer. Only when that comes, then only there can be true humility. Because I am not the doer. Why should I feel proud about anything? Why should I tell hundreds of people what I have done? This seva I have done. This much check, thousands or lakhs or crores I have donated to somebody. Why do I need to proclaim it to the world? That proclamation comes only and only and only and only and only and only when I know I am the doer. Then only I can claim I did it. If I have the feeling something did through me, I'll shut up. I'll not even want to think about it. Forget talk about it. I'll not even want to bring that feeling that I'm doing seva. I'm telling you that. That bhav also will not be there. कहाँ जा रहे हो सेवा करने? आएगा ही नहीं. कहाँ जा रहे हो? ऐसे जा रहा हूँ कुछ काम. And you'll do nishkam seva politely and come back. Not because you're fearing, oh, I should do it quietly, I should not. Some fundas are there, some principles are there. It should not get affected. No. That also is again sukshma ways deteriorating, because then out of fear you're doing that seva. First, what I said, out of greed you're doing, out of love. I need praise, or I need punya, I need grace, I need to get rid of my problem, so I'm doing seva. That's out of greed. Now, when I say, we heard this Jake speak here on shifting into awareness, and he just said that, if you do it in this manner, so I should not talk to anybody. I should not say anything. So hidingly I go, and chup chap I do. And then, you have the feeling that, I did my seva and I didn't tell anyone. Still there is sukshma doership there. That is out of fear then that seva is done. So what I'm trying to say is, it should not be motivated by greed nor by fear. Not by the greed of any rewards that I'm going to get in this lifetime, after lifetime, sukshma way or physical, whatever. Not bothered about the results, rewards, nor do I fear any kind of punishments. If I do it this way, this will happen, that will happen. You are a neutral person. You do it just because you are an instrument that you do. It's the purest kind of intention that you can develop, and this will come only through awareness. If awareness is absent, all these mistakes will happen. Savdhani. Awareness is savdhani. Savdhani hati, durgatna ghati. That's how it goes. So I told you, I can give you examples in any path that you take. Without that awareness, you cannot do qualitatively in anything in that path. So take bhakti yoga. You're doing devotion. Now, if you're not aware of your devotion, of what it is, like I tell you about the tattva. What is the tattva about? One is blind bhakti. You just are devoted to something, maybe even to your master. You are devoted to the guru, you are devoted to your ishta devata, or whatever devotion you have. But that devotion is triggered by fear or greed. Greed of something. If I join this group, or if I come under a guru, if I go to the temple and worship this deity or this ishta, I will get phala, karma phala. Many advertisements are there. You do this. These are the benefits you get. You do this. This list of benefits that you get. So whatever you do in that manner, when you look at the benefits and then you go to do something, you're doing it out of lobha, greed. An unaware person will not be conscious about it. They will do it because the whole world is doing it. Why should I bother about anything? This is the way prescribed. My grandfathers did it, my fathers did it, my family did it, my whole community does it, the whole world does it, my whole religion does it. I'll also do it blindly. There's no awareness in it. Or when bhakti is done, let me go to the temple. Today's Shanivar, I have to go to the Hanuman temple or to Shani Devta. If I don't, something odd will happen. Or today is Somar, today is Monday, I have to go to Shiva and worship the Shiva. Let me go to a Shiva temple. Then I'm doing it out of fear, because if I don't do something, I'm fearing something will happen. Or my guru has told me to do this. Oh, today I have no time and I have to do something else. I'm busy. No, but he has told I have to do now at this hour. Oh, let me do it now. Alarm larake, then we do it on that. This is out of fear. Kya hoga? We are not following the instructions, so kuch to hoga. You're not doing it from the heart. If you are a person of awareness, you will see this in crystal clear. If you are not, you will not see it. You will just do it out of fear. Or you'll do it out of greed. Oh, Gurudev told to do this. Then if I do this, I will get this benefit. Nice. Let me do it. You are motivated here by greed. Both karmas have different kind of repercussions. The quality of the phala differs according to your intentions. The purest intention is what? Neutral. Neither this, neither that. Neither lobh, nor bhaya, nor greed, nor fear. I do it because I am just an instrument being guided to do it. And this is my dharma to do it. I have taken birth to do these karmas, and let me do it in a choiceless manner, neutral, no expectations. This can happen only when you connect yourself to the higher beings and bring that bhava that I'm not the doer. This is what Krishna said. Lord Krishna said, Yogast Kuru Karmani, and he told Arjuna that whatever you do, surrendered completely to me in non-doership state, you will not get the karma. Refer to Bhagavad Gita. I don't know which verse, but refer it. Arjuna was in fear. He was leaving the battlefield because he didn't want to fight. Oh, that side, on the other opposite side, my family members are there, my relatives, my friends are there, my guru is there. How can I fight all these people? I cannot. He throws. And he tells Lord Krishna, my hands are shivering. I cannot fight this war. How can I kill my own people? That is when Lord Krishna laughs and says, you feel you are the doer. That is why that doer is suffering. You are not suffering. That doer, that father, that mother, that husband, that wife, that guru, that shishya, that uncle, that auntie, that friend, that enemy, that identity that you hold at, I am this, that is the one that is suffering. You are not the sufferer. When can you be not the sufferer? When you just become drishta, sakshi, and you play the role being unaffected by it, by not becoming very serious with, carried away with that role. He said, you're a king. You are not a father, mother, son, husband. You are not none of these. In the battlefield, you are a king. As a king, what is your dharma? To fight unrighteousness, adharma, whoever it is on the other side. That should not be a concern. Why are you mixing your personal properties with your dharma? He reminds you are a king, you are a kshatriya. Then he gives him the upadesha and says, because he's confused, how do I do it? And he says, come into the state of non-doership and know that you are just a medium being used here to reset the dharma. Krishna was using him as a medium to reset dharma because there are so many players in that. He had to neutralize, the karmic debt, the neutralization had to happen. For neutralization to happen, all these souls become the non-doer, the instrument, the medium. They're just the medium. Don't get carried away. That's what the message of Bhagavad Gita is. Once he gets the jnana, now he goes and fights his dharma as a kshatriya. We are all kshatriyas. We are all warriors of light. We are all warriors on the path of truth and light. What I repeatedly say, truth and light is what? Dharma. Simple word. Path of truth and light is nothing but righteousness. Dharma. What is dharma? Dharma is that neutrality. It has neither this nor that. What is Sanatan? Neutrality. It has neither this nor that. You add anything into Sanatan, it is no more Sanatan. You remove anything from Sanatan, it is no more Sanatan. It is then your own philosophy. You add a religion to Sanatan, you say Hindu Sanatan, Muslim Sanatan, Christian Sanatan, gone. You have added a property. Sanatan is propertyless. Sanatan is life the way it is, the way the Srishti has been created, what God has created. That is Sanatan. Sanatan means even before the indulgence of the human mind, what was life? That is Sanatan. Before the intelligent beings, intellectuals came in and added their philosophies. Before that was Sanatan. Let us take a state where everything was there. Prakriti, the plantations, the stones, the birds, the creatures, the animals, the humans, everything. Just imagine everybody is in that state and nobody is functioning anything. No, humans also are not thinking anything. Humans are the worst beings that can create havoc in this nature. Because rest everything has no mind. They just function automatically in the Prakriti. Man only has this free will due to this instrument called mind. And then that mind creates a lot of stuff, and then they bring their own interpretations and dilutions into what is Dharma, what is not Dharma, what is Sanatan, what is not Sanatan. The moment you speak about it, it's gone. Because God created it in purity. So just imagine that situation where Prakriti is there and humans are there in a null way. Non-thinking humans. Let us say everybody is just neutral and the human beings are neutrally working with no free will. That state of life is Sanatan, where everything is very clear. The Dharma, the actual way of living, the neutral zone, everything is perfect balance. And imbalance begins the moment छेड़छाड़ होना शुरू होता है उसके अंदर प्रकृति में. पहला छेड़छाड़ from our mind. पहला छेड़छाड़. Everything is in perfect order. Everything is running in perfect order. Now an I comes. One I comes. The false I. False I means the ego. So I have my own thinking now. The moment I have my own thinking, I begin thinking my own thoughts. And then I look at the Dharma, the pure Sanatana, and I put my idea on it. The moment I put idea on it, it becomes a philosophy. My interpretation of that pure Dharma, my interpretation of the Sanatan, and then I try to explain Sanatana through my mind, through my ideology, then it becomes a philosophy which is no more Sanatan, no more Dharma. It becomes an altered state. So now imagine 8 billion people on this planet, and all the 8 billion people have their own minds and free will. Everybody has their own Dharma explanation. Everybody has their own philosophy or their own Sanatan. Everybody. And when we have groups of these, they become a new way of. And then there is fight about which is right and which is wrong. We added pollution to that Dharma. We added pollution to that pure state of consciousness. We added to that neutrality. We added to the Sanatana. So whatever is the product, that is our product. That is not the actual Sanatana. That is not the pure Srishti of God. So when that addition happens, there will also be some subtraction. Somebody will add something to it. Somebody will try to subtract it. And in all this chaos, something more dharmas are created. Multiple dharmas, different interpretations of Sanatana and Dharma are created, and they battle with each other and they're imbalance. Now Prakriti always tries to balance anything. That is taken away, it tries to balance. That is added, it tries to balance. That is where the friction happens. That is where the law of karma comes. Anybody who has moved away from that neutrality has put on karma. Anybody who has decreased from that neutrality has added on, has decreased karma. Now new karmas to neutralize it. So the play goes on. This is the play of consciousness. This is the actual play of consciousness. What is the play? This play of getting away from that neutral track and the nature trying to balance itself gives rise to the play of consciousness. And where the play of consciousness happens, obviously there is going to be karma. And with karma, the dramas begin. new janmas, again and again repeated births, repeated cycles, and it goes on endlessly. And in all these janmas, through all the yugas, what is nature trying to do? Balance. See, it is in balance. Little it alters, a new divine interpretation becomes the Satyuga. The problem begins. Satyuga, there is only I Sato Guna, but it's still not in neutral. It has added now gunas. So there is a life and yuga of Sattvic. Slowly that Satoguna deteriorates into Rajasic and Tamasic through all the other yugas, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga. You're moving more and more away from Dharma, away from Sanatana, away from neutrality. And finally it comes to a peak state, the Kali Yuga, farthest from that. And in all this Yuga, what is nature trying to do? It is trying to balance. Where is the proof of balance? You can see if it is moving from Yuga, from Satyuga, it has moved further towards Dwapara, towards Treta. Now what is this motion? Where is it? Why it is coming back in this year? This is nature trying to balance it and bring it back to that state. Bring it to that Satyuga. See what is happening? Automatically we are moving through the yugas. And what cosmos is trying to reset itself. So can you see? Now we say Kali Yuga, everything is going. Nothing is going. We are moving towards reset. Who's doing the reset? Prakriti. Because as I told you, that is the law of neutrality. There is where it will try to balance. There is where actually it will try to bring the real Dharma, real Sanatana. It will return to the real Sanatana. With Sanatana, not yours and mine or anybody's interpretation. It is the Sanatana of silence, not spoken, just experienced. Everything in perfect order, divine order. That's Sanatana. It moves back to that. Moving to that. And of course, we know the great reset button of God, the Creator. Anywhere it goes. See, you have a cell phone, it can hang up, your computer, it can hang up, it can get clogged, overloaded, whatever, dysfunctional, it can stop functioning, it can go cranky, haywire. What happens when too much of crankiness happens and you're trying to do this, exit this function, trying to reduce this or trying to delete and whatever you're trying to do, it's not happening. What do? Reboot. Computer, reboot. Reset. If your mobile has got too cranky, you have the reset button, factory resetting button. You reset to the factory settings, the original settings, that original setting. When the mobile was delivered to you, pure form, without your touching the keyboard also, without you pressing any single button and adding any single thing to it, the fresh mobile that came to you when you on it, that is Sanatana. That is Dharma, that is neutrality, the way it is, perfect order. Then we start poking our fingers into everything. And then one by one we create, we add, we modify, all those things we do. All the settings changes and everything we do. And finally when it gets too much to handle, one reset factory settings. And it turns back to Dharma. That is called Pralaya. When something goes too much out of hand, as one reset button, Pralaya, everything is back to square one. Everything is gone. All the creation of man is gone. So when we understand life in this fashion, and we live in awareness that the whole cosmos also is trying to return to neutrality, and me, a part of that cosmos, a spark of that whole story of cosmos, is also having the same quality. I as a soul also am trying to reset all the time. My life is resetting it all the time. Now, if I have become aware and I am living a life of awareness, will I move with the flow and allow those changes to happen to neutrality, or will I sit fighting in it and take the thing in my hand and become a karta, become a doer and try to do things? There is no harm in doing it, because that option has been given to all of us. You can create, you can be the creator of your own way, you can create the way you have life, but every creation that you do, you have equal consequences. That is called karma. Anything that you do has a consequence. Anything that you do has a consequence. That's free will. Knowingly you must be a creator. There also see, if you are unknowingly a creator, in unawareness, if you try to become a creator of your own destiny, you can end up in soup. Because ignorantly you'll do anything. Vashibhoot hoke vasanao se, kamnao se. Your vasanas, your conditioning, your beliefs, your patterns, your sanskaras, your impressions will make you live in a certain way, make you create even the unwanted things. So there also awareness is needed. If you are a Jagrut person, if you are in awareness at that time, while creating, you will create the maximum best that you can to get your life to neutral. That's very important. That is why I always say, even whenever you write your wishes and all that, on the top, write your biggest purpose of coming to this human life. That is to liberate from all these bondages, to neutralize. To become neutral is the main purpose of life. That's very important. That cannot be forgotten, because if you remember that, then you are living a life in awareness. If you have that on your top agenda and then you fulfill all your desires quality will differ, because now the top boss is something else. On depending on the top priority of the real purpose of your life, you will create the rest of your desires qualitatively, because you know that's the highest goal. If that goal is not there, then you are doing it according to your vasanas and kamanas. There's no control over it. You are automatically, robotically, as per your prarabdha, as per your past karmas and impressions, you are doing it. And you don't even have awareness. So there will be that kind of consequences. So you create anything, yes, fine, but those consequences come. So one is becoming the creator in complete awareness, with a life of awareness. And the other option for that, which eventually happens, is allowing life to neutralize, allowing life to get you to the real purpose of your life. That is liberation. Allowing, even if you don't do anything, life will take you there. Because life is resetting itself. Automatic, that's the quality of life. It will reset itself. Whether you do it or not, whether you like it or not. Look at the Avdutas. They have reached to that state where all the doership is gone completely. Complete doership is gone. They are not creators anymore. They don't create anything. But now when they are in that state of liberated state, they just live and live out their balance prarabdha. Whatever their bodies are undergoing, they are aware that it is the remaining balance karmas that is working out. They will not interfere in it. So you look at the Avdutas, you will see all the great mystics like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Nityananda Baba of Ganeshpuri Kanjangad, Ramana Maharshi. Look at all of them. They were fully aware that what is happening to their bodies, their prarabdha, they didn't interfere with it. They always remained a sakshi and allowed their prarabdha to exhaust itself. That is why they were not perturbed with anything. Sai Baba, you take. They were not perturbed. They allowed things to happen on their own. Nityananda Baba allowed the body to finish off, exhaust its karma. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa allowed. See, if they want, they could have done. See, that's the catch. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, so many devotees pleaded. You just think, and the mother does. She appears in front of you in the Stula Rupa. Your Devotion, you have reached that state where you have just one thought can bring the mother there down, your devotion. And you can't cure a small illness. Just ask the mother. The disciples would fall at his feet and plead, please pray to the mother. Because they knew their prayers are not so powerful. If you want, it can just happen in a second. But Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, whatever the will of the Divine Mother, see that state. That state is something beyond description. We cannot even talk about it. That state of oneness, where they were not perturbed with the body. What happened to that? And he allowed nature to live its own course without taking anything in his own hand. That's a different state. Ramana Maharshi, same way. They did so much to tell him. Miracles have happened here. Lives have been saved. So many things have happened and you can't save. He used to not do anything. They used to ask him, why are you suffering? You can get out of suffering. He would say, the body is suffering, not me. Lord Jesus Christ, when he was put on the cross, he knew it. He knew it. Without a complaint, he looked up and he said, Father, thy will be done. Teri raza mein meri raza. No complaints, because he knew that is what it is supposed to happen. Let it happen. He who healed the sick, he who touched leprosy and the lepers and healed leprosy, he who raised up the people from the dead graves, Jesus Christ, couldn't he save himself? Everybody asked that question. If he was such a great God or something, couldn't he have saved himself? Yes, but then couldn't Ramana have saved himself? Couldn't Ramakrishna have saved himself? Couldn't Sai Baba have saved himself? Couldn't Nityananda Baba have saved himself? There also disciples in Ganeshpuri were crying, Baba, don't leave us. Be with us. And Baba was fed up actually, because he was saying, no point here. What I want to give, nobody wants to take. We are all here for the petty stuff only. What is that he wants to give? What I am talking here, that neutrality, that liberation, which we should not forget. Because people were living ignorantly and in not awareness, they went to him and asked him stones when he was ready to give gems to them. They were not aware. I told you, when you're not aware, you get vashibhut with your vasanas and kamanas. And all people did there was ask for desires, kamana purti ke liye gaye wo. Ye Mahapurush ke paas. The one who can give liberation from those kamanas, that was not asked, but more kamanas were asked. See the ignorance. That is why he was not very happy with it. And he said, okay, I'm leaving. And then disciples pleaded, please, please don't leave us. Be with us, we need you. Then he said, bring me one devotee. You are saying you are a devotee disciple. Bring me one devotee or disciple that has the bhakti of that of Pundalika. That of Vithala, Panduranga. They were supposed to have the highest bhakti, who worshipped Panduranga Vithala. Pundalika's bhakti, so divine, so selfless, nothing for vasanas, nothing for kamanas. Why do we want our gurus or the enlightened masters to stay back? Please stay back, please stay back, don't leave us and go. You are, because they are ATM machines for our desires. Because if they are longer there, they will keep blessing us, they will keep giving us all the time. That's all that we want. We have nothing to do with that person. We want our desires fulfilled. And Nityananda Baba knew it. Whatever we call as disciples or devotees, he knew it. So he said, bring me one that has the bhakti of these kind of devotees that were dedicated to their lords. Ones who were dedicated to Vithala. Can anybody come? He says, one person like that tells me to halt, stay back, I will stay, he said, Nityananda. And we know what happened. He passed away. Because there was no one. No one with that neutral desires. See this? That pure bhakti, that is selfless, unconditional love. This is unconditional love. When there is no expectation, nil expectations. That is why I don't talk about unconditional love too much. It is just otherwise bakwas. We keep talking about it, but we don't live it. We don't know what is the meaning of it. This is unconditional love. He said, bring me that kind of. Doesn't happen. So you can see the prarabdha, that state of all these enlightened beings. Naturally they allow. That is their state. They don't interfere in it. I am coming back to the point I was talking about, creating. One is creating destiny with awareness. See, one is creating life. I am the master of my own destiny. I am the creator of my own destiny. That is at a gross level of creation. Anybody can create. You look at even the Tata Birlas, you look at all the successful people, you look at even the negatively successful people. I mean, even the people who do wrong works and have become extremely successful, the criminals, and they also have used that only mind, same mind to manifest and materialize their desire. What is their desire? To become a boss, to become a king. The Hitler also had a desire and he created it very beautifully. He manifested it. Alexander had a desire. He manifested it. But how many people were benefited by that? They were benefited in some way, their own swarth, own selfishness. But was it for the general? So that also worked. They also created their destinies. That is the most grossest way of creating destiny. One is the one step above, that is creating, being the creator of your own destiny in awareness, full awareness and consciousness of this whole session that I'm talking. You are fully aware of all the pros and cons, everything. Then do you think you'll unknowingly create something that is not for your ultimate good? You'll end up making the choicest of things, and in very consciously, you'll end up creating it all the time. You'll walk like on blade, on sword edge. Carefully. You will consciously not want to make mistakes. The first one is unconsciously you will make as many mistakes as possible. The first one is living in the mind. Creating with the mind. And what is the mind? All the crap that we have, all the tendencies from previous experiences, from previous karmas, that influences our mind, and we create with all that impurities. And so will be the destinies. The other is you create with awareness. When you have awareness, you will create consciously only that which is for your highest good and which will lead you to the highest goal. Still creators of destiny. That is one step higher. But higher than that is once you realize that when I am the creator, I am the doer. When the doership starts reducing to a certain extent, and finally almost to the state of nil, when that happens, the whole attitude of creating dissolves. Then you know, I do not create anything, but I allow the creator to create what I am destined for. Means what? Nothing will just create automatically. We do not know this. We feel that if I don't create anything, something life will go haphazard. No. How can it go haphazard? Because you are running on a meter, prarabdha. That is guiding you. Your prarabdha is always guiding you. And it will always lead you towards the end. Maybe later. Maybe 10 janmas. I told you, 1000, 10 janmas. But still, at the end of 10 janmas, there is light. Even if you don't do anything, the 10 janmas will finish on its own without application of the mind. Without any intrusion into that. If you just move with the flow, you will have 10 janmas and you will exhaust after that. Simple. So there is nothing by fluke that is happening. There is nothing to get scared. Oh, my life will go berserk. When ulta, it happens the other way. If you are thinking that, oh, if I don't create, then something wrong will happen. Please mind you are already creating that. That fear of, oh, something will happen. The creation has begun. Unawareness. And you end up creating. So, look, I told you something wrong will happen. You are already in the process. So all that is the creator's work. The I, the creator. I. There is I. The ego is there. The mind is there. Mind and ego are one. As of the false I thinks that I'm the boss, so I will do what I want in my life. That in simple gross terms that is. And I told you that even Hitlers have done that. My life, my way, my style, my destiny, my wish. You look around very carefully, you will find a lot of people, even in the spiritual fit. My wish, my life, I'll whatever I want. Freak out life. That is again creating, but it has its own consequences. The other is when all this creatorship ends. A state will come. My Gurudev told, a state will come when it becomes Teri Raza mein Meri Raza, or it becomes Jo Shivagya, or it becomes Jis Vidhi Rakhe, Us Vidhi Rahiye. Everything is fine. See, Bhagavan Nityananda was in that state, Ramakrishna was in that state, Ramana Maharshi was in that state, Jis Vidhi Rakhe, Us Vidhi Rahiye. They didn't create anything there because they have reached that state. That is the divine flow. What is the divine flow? You go with the prarabdha. So as you go with your prarabdha, now that doesn't mean you don't do. I'm not encouraging you, don't do a sadhana, don't do anything, just be. No, you do whatever the practices are. That's all fine. Because as I told you, as you do sadhana, tapas, all these meritorious work, seva, and all these things that bring you merit, what happens? You raise your vibrations and you create good punyas. Okay, this will all help in reducing the effect of the prarabdha so your life journey can be easier. Otherwise, it can be hard. And it's not everybody's cup of tea. Everybody cannot be Ramana Maharshi, having cancer on his body, or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa having cancer on their body and still being blissful. Or Jesus Christ being pierced and crucified and nailed and still be neutral about it. It's not easy. So I'm not recommending that. But what I'm saying is, once you understand this whole philosophy, this fundas of how this life works, then you add whatever your practices are doing. And practices also should be unconditional. It should be Nishkam Sadhana again. Because there when you do even sadhana or you're doing any practice with some greed, oh, साधना करने से इसका फल ये मिल जाता है, मुझे सिद्धि मिल जाएगी, I get some powers, I can see, I can read minds, or something, beneficial stuff. Then that is with expectations. It is still not unconditional. It is conditional sadhana. You are doing that sadhana for receiving something. The intention is gadbad. Or you're doing it out of fear. If I don't do sadhana, something, hell will break loose. I'm supposed to do as prescribed. Kattarpanthi. Then I'm just doing it out of fear. And you see, both these don't work quality results. I've seen many, countless who are in this zone. They're doing it out of fear or greed. And they are in that disturbed moment all the time. And they are not seeing any benefits coming out of it. Because it's sakam sadhana. It has to be Nishkam sadhana, unconditional. Do it just like another non-doers. Even the sadhana tapas as a non-doer, in that bhava also it can be done, so that there is neutrality, there is no expectations out of it. Then whatever is generated out of it, let it automatically work. We are not even calculating, we are not even expecting, nothing. Because even if you don't expect also, it will happen. The good will happen through it. So then if it is going to happen when you're doing that, what is the point in putting our brains and head into it and destroying the whole process? So that is neutral sadhana. You do whatever practices are there, whatever is needed you do, and then live consciously. So consciously living in awareness means anything that is happening in your life, you don't fight over it. Like for example, I am supposed to travel to a certain place. I don't go there by motivation. I don't go by being inspired by anything. I don't go because people are going. I go because my soul craves to be there. If my soul is craving to be there, I am in awareness and consciously I know some karma runa is there, runa bandhana is there, some karmic debt is there with the place before. And if it is in my prarabdha to visit that place, I will be there. Whatever that is. We are indebted even to places because in some janmas, we could have taken something from that place or given something in that place and we are supposed to receive back. We must have done something there, some karmic debt with the people of that place. We must have taken something or given something that is lying unsettled. It has to be neutralized. And when life is trying to neutralize it, there buddhi nahi chalana. Many people advise me, master advices. They all become my gurus, trying to tell me, don't travel here. Why are you traveling here? What are you seeking here and there? What are you not yet fulfilled or not yet found? And the master has said this, the great enlightened masters have said this, that you need not go anywhere, everything is within, sit in one place and you will get it within. I say, that is your life. If that is what is motivating you, then you do not have karma runas anywhere, that's fine. Your life will not be motivated to get even out of your room. That's your prarabdha. That works for you. What works for you does not work for others. And if I am traveling to multiple places, need not everybody travel. That works for me. If you have an soulful inclination to be at a certain place, you are destined to be there. That's how I told you. Prarabdha works through your mind itself. You get the desires, you get the intensities. When you get attracted to someone, when you get a pull towards someone, when you get indebted to someone, when you get enclutched with someone, when you come in contact with someone and create a new relationship, when there is a new give and take, when a relationship ends, please know all these things. You have to be very conscious and aware of what's happening. People you meet in your life are a part of your prarabdha. That is unwinding itself to neutralize something. It is not about the person, it is about what is being neutralized and allowing that to be neutralized. That is awareness. That is a life of awareness. There you don't restrict and say, no, I'll do this, I'll do that, nothing. But you're seeing crystal clear, certain things are coming to you. Now there are two ways to see it. You might say, oh, this guy told us this and now you know, something is happening in my life or I feel attracted to someone or something is coming. Let me jump into it because it's my... No, I don't mean that. It could be your vasanas, it could be your tendencies, whatever it is. But if you are living a life of awareness, you will have clarity. You will see the clarity there. You will see clarity whether it is just a vasana trend or it is something deeper. And you will know if it is deeper and if there is a inclination to give or take something, even to give something or to take something from, no, it is a karmic debt that is being cleared. That is why my master said, nobody does anything. Nobody gives you anything. Nobody can take anything away from you. who is coming and giving anything in your life are destined to neutralize that in that way. Who comes and takes away something from your life are destined to neutralize it in that way. This is life of awareness, conscious living. So you live life. And today's whole session, what I'm talking, the life of awareness, is just the gross awareness. This is not what the platform shifting into awareness is actually try to focusing on. There are 4 steps to the shifting into awareness, which eventually I'll reveal it off. And my courses, which I'm planning to do, or the retreats that I'm planning to do, will have unwinding that all. So that the 4th step leads to the self-inquiry of Ramana Maharshi. Directly, nobody can directly go and sit and just contemplate on who am I. You'll end up thinking and creating in your mind and coming back. But to get into that experiential feel of what is exactly this about, there are certain steps of this awareness. And today what I'm talking, the whole video that I talk is just gross awareness, the first step. Just being aware of the path, aware of what you are doing here, or aware of what life is doing to you. That's all. This is the first step. But it builds up a lot of momentum. This first step is required in all the paths, all the religions. Without this, if you have joined this video late, you see it from start. You will come to know without this life of awareness, nothing works. It didn't work for me also, I'm telling you. These are my experiments that I tried. Grace of Guru Mandala, grace of God, certain things were revealed in my life journey. Make it this way. And I see it enhancing. I saw it enhancing in many ways. Quantum leaps in consciousness happening when certain things are added on, which was missing before. So I have not structured it properly well, because if I structure it, it will be resold. Because I am not cunning enough to make business out of this. I'm telling you. I've led my life in minimum. I'm telling you, even right now, my life continues in the minimum. I have not made big profits out of this. I can make if I want. And I know if I structurally reveal it openly, good syllabuses will be made in some other name and all that, because the world is ready for all that. It will be made and it will be commercialized. I don't want to do that. So there are certain aspects of these points that I'm keeping reserved only for the retreats. And that is little serious stuff also. But what I'm revealing here in these videos are simple things which we all can have. I mean, whichever path we follow, it can give you abundance. It can give you abundance. I don't mean money. I'm talking the abundant life of that fulfillment and contentment and peace and happiness. I'm talking about that abundance. So it can give you that complete just by adding this life of awareness, this conscious living. The other states of awareness expands more into the deeper aspects of life. Being aware one more step deeper as to who you are, apart from this gross what I explained today. And that's more deeper. And that also gives you an experiential feeling of what happens when you tap into those subtle areas of your life and the life around you. That makes you more sajak, more conscious spiritually. This can make you spiritual as well as this in the just normal world. Even those non-spiritual people also, if they have this much of awareness, it's enough. But that is little more entering into spirituality, where you explore the deeper dimensions of your own soul consciousness, where all the definitions becomes crystal clear to you. Like I made a video saying that this should not be mixed up. Awareness, what I am talking is not mindfulness, is not alertness, is not mere witnessing, is not consciousness. There can be confusions in all this because the word awareness is very casually used till now. Because till now we have heard only of awareness as Nature Awareness Day, AIDS Awareness Day, whatever the cause we become aware of, or health awareness campaign. We become conscious of our health. We become aware of our health. We become aware of life. We become aware of pollution. We become aware of saving the earth. We become aware of the nature and protecting nature, wildlife. We become aware of human rights. I am not talking of that awareness. That is just conscious. You just become conscious of it. You become alert of it. You have an understanding of it. That helps you, okay, more or less to navigate life. That is the grossest kind of awareness we are talking about. I'm not even, today's video is not even on that. That is one step below that. That awareness anybody can have. That conscious living anybody can do. With a little campaigns and with little teachers, they can teach us all these things. Even parents can teach this. Elders can teach this. Being aware of your body, being aware of your health. This is not that. Awareness means more. Today's session is one step higher than that. And one more step higher than this is the subtle awareness. You go into that subtle, you become aware subtly. You become aware of consciousness. What is consciousness? In you, around you. You become aware of what is that Param Tattva, that divine consciousness. You become aware of how am I a part of that divine consciousness. You become aware of how everything is consciousness, how everything is divinely orchestrated. You become conscious and aware of life around. You become aware of your path. You become consciously aware of your journey. You become aware of the larger aspects of life than this. That is another step. Further beyond that, with more experience of that awareness, you get into an awareness of who you are. The awareness that you are consciousness itself. You are that consciousness. And you dig deeper into that who am I statement. And you try to probe into who I really am. Who are these around me? Are they separate from me? Or am I one? If they are all one, how am I related to everyone? How can I be the spark that is from there? And how is everyone a spark? You become aware of the one consciousness that is there in everything. And you can practice those aspects also. Experientially, because this is not just philosophy. One has to experience. And I'm talking from my experience. What I get glimpses and understanding is what I'm talking here. I've never read this in book. I don't know if anything what I'm talking here is there in any books. I don't know. But like Anand Tirth Maharaj told me in Uttarkashi when he met me, whatever you're speaking is again has conformity with the Upanishads and Vedas. It's not different. You're talking in your own words, but it's the same expression. So that gives an understanding that this is all there. The wisdom is there within us. When somebody asked about Paul Brunton to Ramana Maharshi, about Paul Brunton. Paul Brunton was the first person who introduced Ramana Maharshi to the outside world. A Search in Secret India was his book, which became very famous in those black and white days, where he wrote of all his experiences throughout the Himalayas and all the saints and mystics and yogis and avadutas. And then he comes even in touch with Ramana Maharshi, and there's a big chapter he wrote on Ramana Maharshi. That attracted and caught the attention of the people. So somebody asked, is that book coming from his wisdom, his inner knowledge, his worldly wisdom, or is it his experience, or what it is? And they asked Ramana Maharshi, how authentic is it? Is he writing something from his gyan that he has learned from somewhere? And Ramana said, he is speaking the same words, but in a modern way. What I am telling, he's telling the same thing, but in a modern own way. And that modern way appealed to the Westerners. That is what brought all the Westerners and is still bringing the Westerners to Ramana Maharshi or to Tiruvannamalai, to Arunachala Hill. And you can see now thousands of Westerners meditating, though they don't even know the time of which Ramana Maharshi existed. They've not seen any of them have not seen him alive. Only his books written through someone else, read, the consciousness through that. Because Ramana Maharshi said, listen to PB. PB is Paul Brunton. Because my Shakti works through him. My Shakti doesn't mean his Shakti. The Shakti that is working through Ramana is continuing passing through Paul Brunton and reaching out to the world. See, this is what every single human being on earth does. Like if I am talking anything, it comes from the higher sources. Like I am linked to a Guru Parampara. I have my Gurudev, my master, through whom I have taken Diksha and I have been blessed to be in this lineage. And he has a master. He has a master. It goes on. So it is just a flow through the chain. The beads have nothing to do. It is just the thread that is passing through the chains that keeps the bead held together and even gives the understanding we are this and lineage and all that. Actually, it has no essence. The thread just passes through these things. So this is what Anantir Maharaj told me in Uttarkashi. He said that you're talking the same stuff, and I was happy. I said, okay, it's in conformity, fine. Perfectly fine. So this goes further to the understanding of who am I, this consciousness, this oneness, and glimpses of experiencing it. And then it enters into a very deep zone of knowing that I am pure consciousness, which my Gurudev said. Pure consciousness, I am that pure consciousness. Pure consciousness means the Param Tattva, the Shivoham, the Shiva Tattva, Nirguna, Nirakara, no guna, no akara, nothing, the formless, the pure, indivisible, infinite, invisible and indivisible, infinite. It cannot be divided, it cannot be broken, it cannot be dead, it cannot have an end. It is infinite. That Param Tattva, which we know as Shiva Tattva, Nirguna, Nirakara, that Param Tattva, that is pure consciousness, pure in its purest form. Like I said, neutrality, the Dharma, the Sanatana, pure in its pure form. When I realize that I am a spark of that pure consciousness, if I am a spark of that pure consciousness, then I am also pure consciousness. If you are a spark of pure consciousness, you are also pure consciousness. So now the whole awareness has shifted into a different, deeper level of being aware of that consciousness. Being aware that you, me, everything is pure consciousness. And what my Gurudev yesterday beautifully said, I am elaborating the whole video on that. It struck chord with me immediately, what he said. Wow. It's like that awareness is there now, that everything is pure consciousness. That's a different state of understanding. There, it's beyond all this cribbing and crying and judging and analyzing. It's beyond that. Because there, when we try to get glimpses of that and try to expand that, it is like living in that pure consciousness. It's not easy. That's why I'm saying you cannot directly jump into those. It has to go by building up these from the gross consciousness. You build up awareness from the gross level and keep it deeper and deepening and deepening and deepening until you get this glimpses of that you are pure consciousness. Now, the most essential point that I want to say, that consciousness, that pure consciousness, I'm marking this very much. What I'm trying to say here is there is no difference between pure consciousness and pure awareness. Awareness, yes, it's the grosser, what we are trying it. Awareness. Consciousness, we are just talking generally. But I am mentioning that tattva, that is which is pure, nothing in it, just absolute pure, pristine form. That pristine, pure consciousness is pristine, pure awareness. How it is awareness? Because that Param Tattva, which is consciousness, pure consciousness, is aware. I've spoken very deeply on this from Tiruvannamalai. Sat Chit Ananda, the Sat Purusha. The Chit and all is later. The Chit comes from there only. That's a later story. But the Sat is not involved in anything. It is just a drishta, just a witness, a pure witness, witnessing everything. This pure Chitta, this pure, Sat, the Shiva Tattva, the God consciousness is aware of everything. It's simply aware. That is why this pure consciousness is referred to as pure awareness. Because it is nothing, it has no quality, it has no tattva, it has no essence, it is not even wind, it is not even akasha, it is nothing which has a definable quality. It is nothingness. But that nothingness is aware. See, there is a nothingness that is aware of everything. That is why that nothingness is called as pure awareness. If everything is removed out to a zero level, nothing remains but pure awareness. That is at that level. When I, as an individual, realize that point in me, that I am pure consciousness, and when I see what is the quality of that pure consciousness, when I try to enter, I see that pure consciousness, pure awareness. I am just aware. If I take down everything, strip out everything out of me and return to the zero neutral level of nothingness, of shunya, that shunya is pure awareness. It is just aware. So there is not much difference between consciousness and awareness on this level. But if we talk on the gross level, what generally people are talking, okay, it's all good. For a good living, we can be just aware and conscious of all this. But see where it takes you. And why it is taking you there? Because you are awareness. It's all coming from there only. This has been very beautifully explained by Eckhart Tolle and some of the Buddhist monks have explained it very beautifully. But still, I'm telling you, I tried to explain it in my way, but still it is unexplainable. It has to be experienced. Whatever we are talking is still like, saying sugar is sweet, honey is sweet, and it tastes like this. How much ever I tell you, see, the sugar, let's assume you have never eaten sugar in your whole life. And I'm telling you, sugar tastes in this manner. It is this kind of a taste. I can't explain how much ever I try, I can't, until you put it in your mouth and you say, oh, so this is sweetness. Only when you eat it. That's what I'm telling. That glimpse has to come. But more or less an idea will lead you, even the philosophical idea of understanding. What is this all about? Can enhance your experience. And you can shift very easily into that awareness if I tell you all this. So that is the reason of speaking about all this. Like Osho's one previous quote that I put there was so beautiful. He said, the mountains are silent, the rivers are silent, the air is silent, Prakriti is silent. It doesn't say anything, it doesn't talk anything. But see, I still have to talk to introduce you to their silence, to make you aware of that silence, to let you know about that silence. I still have to talk. This somewhat like that. I can relate it very much. So if you have any questions on this, you can. Please save the recording, very useful, and I would like to. Yeah, this is always there. It will always stay here in this platform. Okay, so today I'm here in this ashram, Nityananda Ashram. I'm going for my lunch now, and after that, I've got a big apple with me. Look at this. Look at this apple. This is Himalayan apple. Rameshji very lovingly packed us up with few apples. So I brought one for Swamiji. Very sweet. It's like I can't explain how sweet it is because no pesticide, no chemicals, nothing. Purely plucked from the tree in the Himalayas. So I couldn't bring too much of load because Rameshji tried to give me even Shuddha Ganga Jal, that is from the Gomukh, taken from the Gomukh. He was wanting to give us both, but the airport authorities would not allow it. So we had to call back the ashram guys and ask them to request them to take back the Ganga Jal, Gomukh from Gomukh. So that way, many things. We could have brought too much fruits also, but limited luggage we could not. And yes, we had. He kindly gave us Brahma Kamal also, the dried form of the Brahma Kamal that is grown only in the Himalayas. So you get those Brahma Kamal in the Himalayas. So I brought a couple of them. Gave one to my sister. One is in my altar, and one I brought it for Swamiji. So Swamiji said he'll keep it in the place where he has kept the other materials which has come from Bhagwan Nityananda and all that, like blankets or rosary beads or padukas or something, which is passed on from Bhagwan Nityananda to someone, some devotee, and from there it came here. He has preserved it here, including the kambal, the blanket that Bhagwan Nityananda wore, the shawl that Bhagwan Nityananda had worn once. It's all there down there. I don't know if I can show you that. Let me see if I can show you that, and then I'll end my video. If I see it there, I was meditating in that room there. It's a very vibrant room, meditating room, and that is where even Swamiji sits for 2 hours in the morning, 2 to 3 hours in the morning. He has been meditating for years now in that room, and many Maharajas have blessed that room. Many great Punyatmas have come here, Mahatmas have come here, including Janglidas Maharaj, my own Gurudev, many other masters. Um, I don't remember their names, including his master of the Tirtha lineage, Chaitanya Swami, Chaitanya Tirth Maharaj, with whose grace the underground cave was here also was established. And Chaitanya Tirth Maharaj is uh, belonging to the Tirth lineage where I had gone to Devas once and had all those experiences of Vishnu Tirth Maharaj and his Shishya Shivom Tirth Maharaj. Shivom Tirth Maharaj wrote the book of last composition of uh, Mahalalleshwari. Mahalalleshwari was from this tradition. Mahalalleshwari, and then many people in that, many Shishyas in that parampara, it came down to Vishnu Tirth Maharaj. Vishnu Tirth Maharaj gave the entire glimpse of the whole life of Mahalalleshwari and revealed a lot of secrets to Shivam Tirth Maharaj, his disciple. Shivam Tirth Maharaj wrote the book, and which was allowed to be published only after his guru Vishnu Tirth Maharaj left his body. Many mystical things were there in that, out of which many sessions I've shared about. One of that is mainly about Malaleshwari's life, who has touched my life in many ways. And including shifting into awareness is the gift of Malaleshwari. And that lineage, Shivam Tirth Maharaj, who wrote that, was Chaitanya Tirth Maharaj, who lived just a few kilometers here, 100 or to 150 kilometers, in a place called Hubli. He lived there, Dharwad. Chaitanya Tirth Maharaj, the Shishya of Shivam Tirth Maharaj, he has come here and he blessed and gave Diksha to Vijayanand Swami. So Vijayanand Swami belongs to these two traditions, two lineages. So Chaitanya Tirth Maharaj came and blessed him here, and it was through Vijayanand Swami only that I got connected to that lineage. Big story some other time, and that's how I ended up going to Devas and I lived for a couple of days in that ashram there, and Swamiji was allowed me there, including the room of Vishnu Tirth Maharaj and all that. So I've been very much influenced by that lineage. So that this room down was also used by him. So many great Mahatmas have used that room. Let me just check if I can. I don't know what's the time now. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. Oh, it's post their lunchtime. You see, I don't want to disturb Swamiji, or they must be resting now. Those who are interested to see this may just stay back. See the books, new books I brought from ashram. Let me take this apples, two apples. Okay. So this is the beautiful view. I'm just out of my room, and these are the rooms here. A sugarcane plantation, and there is this hospital. It's hold up. That's Swamiji's room. Some visitors are there. So this is the ashram, and this is the room, Mahayoga Peeth. I don't know if this last time I wanted to show this cave. I don't know if it is locked. Let me just check out. Yes, it's locked. Some other time I'll take the keys and show you. So this is the path to the cave down there. Avadhuta Chintana Shri Gurudev Datta. So that's Dhyana Mandir there, Nityananda Dhyana Mandir. This is the Bhojanalaya place. ಊಟ ಮರ್ತ ಬಿಟ್ಟನ್ವಾ ಮರ್ತ ಬಿಟ್ಟನಿ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ asking me for food. I forgot my food today. Vijayananda Swami, Nityananda Swami, Tulsi Amma, Shaligram Swami. And this came from Mukambika. It's got a different story. Swamiji told this Murti of Devi that Shaligram Swami used to actually worship and pray to, or whatever the tapas or that sadhana that he did was on this. So that somehow landed up here. Very strange. Today morning Swamiji was sitting here and telling me about it. And his place was Mukambika. He did tapas in Mukambika, and this also is linked from there only. And he had mastered or gained the Gayatri. He had mastery over the Gayatri. तो बोलते हैं ना उन्होंने सिद्ध कर लिया था गायत्री देवी को, शालिग्राम स्वामी. That is why when you enter his Jiva Samadhi in Ganeshpuri, you will see Ma Gayatri's photo. That's Bhagwan Nityananda. Hello. This is Sogal Swami. Sogal Avadhuta. He is an Avadhuta. He was the guru of Vijayananda Swami for many years, and he lived in a cave in a place called Sogal. A lot of stories related to him. And this is Karunakar Swami of Matunga. He was the last, I told you, he was in Mumbai. I've told many stories about him. And this is Shaligram Swami in his young years. They both were linked because Nityananda Bhagwan, main guru, his Shishya was Shaligram Swami, and Shaligram Swami's Shishya was Karunakar Swami. ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Just finish and come. YouTuber. Yeah, I have a channel in YouTube. You have seen that only. ಅದೇ ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. Videos are there from here. You had your food? Yeah. I'm going to have. ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಗೊಂಡಿಡುಮ. So this is the food that we are going to have, and love English is sharing. That's the ashram kitchen, and this place has always been like my little home. Very comfortable here. And Swamiji has always been like our father here, father figure. So yes, this is the. I'll show you these places, and so you can come to know. So this is another cave. It's Swamiji built. He keeps it locked because sometimes snakes and all or rats and all enter. So this is believed to be a samadhi of some place. You know, this whole ashram is Siddha. This is a Siddha Bhumi. Many Siddhas have taken samadhi here. So this is believed to be some Siddha samadhi. So he has built a cave there. So if anybody wants to meditate, they can. And this is the. This I have done videos here. We have done many videos here before also. It's known as Mukti Dham. Couple of lives we have done from here only. So this is a space where again people can sit and meditate. Everywhere the chant is on Om Namo Bhagavate Nityananda. Often when I do my work or something, or I want to play the harmonium with myself or something, I sit here. There's Karnakar Swami. Paduka. Let me just lock this. That's the ashram. Here we get into this place. This is the main altar, Guru Paduka. So for some reasons, valid reasons, Swamiji has not kept an idol here. He has only maintained the photo. He doesn't want to keep an idol here. And this is the entrance actually. Maruti Mandir, this is Hanuman temple. And this is Kala Bhairava, the guardian of this kshetra. You can see this is the gate here. Buses come on this road. There's a bus stop here. That's the bus stop. If you like coming to this place, I'll give you enough insights and you can come here anytime. I'll give you details of how to reach this place. So this is an Avdumbar tree. There is supposed to be a samadhi in this area also. So this is the outskirts of the ashram, and from here if you walk down, that's this road. If you walk down from here, hardly 10 minutes walk, there is an old 800-year-old Shivalinga dedicated to Lord Mallikarjuna. Mallikarjuna is not known but the form of Shiva itself. There is a river there. Okay, there's a river, and next to that river there is this temple, small temple, very prachin, very powerful vibes. So sometimes I walk down from here and go and sit there. And now Swamiji is planning to build some dhyan kutirs next to that place there, so that those who want to do dhyana in the old fashion, there will be no lights, just lanterns, and no inside toilets will be outside, and simply of mud and cow dung and all that are made. So that is what he was telling me today morning. Probably that's why I'm here today. is all synchronicities which brings us. We are leaped into the divine stream of the spirituality, and it takes us where we need to be at that time. These are all the children's clothes they see here. This whole ashram is managed by the children. I've done a couple of videos here many times before. In case you have not seen this before, so this is one side entrance. This can lead you back into the temple, or there's a side entrance. This is where they have their functions and Bal Bhojan. All the children sit here and eat. There's a playground for the children. And then you're going back in this end. ಊಟ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನ ಓಹ್ ಅವ್ರು ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ Swamiji, it seems, has not had food yet, so I'll have food with him. Above the kitchen area is some more rooms are there. This is where the ashram boys stay. So I'll take you to that small room. There are a lot of visitors here. So here also, beside this cave also, there is some place here where people can sit and meditate actually. These are small cave enclosures. And this is the room I was talking about. That's Swamiji's room. Above that room I was staying. That's there. This road goes to the hospital. Walkable distance. So that underground cave also is very powerful, and Swamiji used to live in this place before here. So previously when I met him, his cot was here. The first time I met him, it was a small, simple cot, and he used to, and I talk about his experiences. You can see the photos. This is Vivekananda Muni. This is some Avadhuta. प्रिया जी, स्वामी जी है अपनी कुटिया में बैठे हैं, कोई तो आया है मिलने उनको. This is an Avadhuta who I said Sogalajja, Swamiji's guru. This is Vijayananda Swami here again. This is the statue of Bhagwan Nityananda in Ganeshpuri. This happened in Ganeshpuri. This is another Avadhuta, Shri 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 Mahadeva Avadhuta. I do not know the name of it, but I think Tirtha lineage only, Vishnu Tirth Maharaj's lineage only. This is somebody. I'll have to ask him. This photo came up here. He's Venkatachala Avadhuta. Very famous, very famous for his leelas that he did here in Karnataka. One of the most powerful gurus of all time here in Karnataka. Venkatachala Avadhuta, he was an Avadhuta. Always dogs used to be with him. This is Shivananda Avadhuta, Shri 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 Shivananda Avadhuta. And this is Nityananda Baba's photo. This is all the Rupas. Prathama Datta Rupa Geshi. Dutiya Sripada Hoshi. Tritiya Narahari Hoshi. Ganagapuri Lila Daveshi. Here again, Manika Prabhutu Hoshi. Akkalkota Swami Hoshi, Swami Samarth. Shirdi Sainath Hoshi. Kalivi Nityananda Vanasi. This is how Jaya Jaya Arati Nityananda goes. All the different forms. He says everything, all these forms are the Datta Rupa. It took all this from Shripada Vallabha, then Sri Narahari, then Manik Prabhuji, and then Swami Samartha, then Shirdi Sai Baba, and then Nityananda. The same form. So that is what Jaya Jaya Arati Nityananda sings actually. So the staff. He sits here, and this is the room inside. It's got a blue light here. It's there's a beautiful perfume smell that I get here whenever I come. It's very vibrant. And Nityananda Baba's photo. This is the Rudraksha mala is kept in this. That was gifted by uh, from Bhagwan's devotees only. See, you can see a shawl here. It's not very clear. It's dark. The white shawl. This was worn by Bhagwan Nityananda. And there are some more little small things there which he has kept it here. So he said he'll keep the Brahma Kamal which I brought from Himalaya here only somewhere. It's a very meditative room. You enter into this room and you just automatically fall into silence. He's Rangavaduta of Gujarat. I think, yeah, this is Bhagavan Dattatreya only. And there you have Karnakar Swami, Bhagavan Nityananda, Sogalajja, Avduta. This is Shivam Tirth Maharaj, whom I was talking about. Vishnu Tirth Maharaj's Shishya, who wrote about Ma Laleshwari. All that thing came to us because of him and his books. And his Shishya was Chaitanya Tirth Maharaj, whom I said, who gave Diksha to Vijayanand Swami and who lived in this kuti also for some days, or I think one day or something. So this is the space where, a couple of people can sit, and group meditation also people can do. Let me just focus this camera. Yes. My favorite spot. This one. Swamiji used to previously sit here many years, 10 years, 12 years back when I used to come. Swamiji used to sit here. I used to sit here in the mornings, like 5 o'clock, and nothing else was there that time, just this simple room. Now they've done it well, and a beautiful blue light also has been added here, you can see. That changes the entire environment in this room. Today morning I was here only meditating here. I don't know, it's something, I don't know. Whenever I on this light, maybe it's some light effect. See what happens. Morning also I was seeing, it becomes very wavy. Probably it's some light effect. See, the head cannot be seen. Here also see. Look at this. You can see some wave kind. As though mist is there. Dhundala, dhundala. So this light can add up to the meditation. Beautiful. Neela. So this is this room. And these are some photographs here. This is Hanumanji. And this is Kalika Devi. I told you, right? There is a Vigraha of Mother Kalika Devi in Vajreshwari. We have 3 deities there. Ma Vajreshwari. And then we have Ma Kalika, that is this. Her place is about 40 kilometers from here in a place called Shirsangi. I've been there, a powerful Shakti Peeth, and where my Gurudev also has meditated. He fell into Samadhi for a long time. My Gurudev in Shirsangi. Kalika Devi is very old Pratin temple is there. And then the third Vigraha in Vajreshwari is Ma Renuka, who is the mother of Parshuramji. So this is the room all about. I don't know if Swamiji is somewhere around. Maybe we can have a glimpse of him. If he's busy, I don't want to disturb him. But I have not eaten my food yet. What is this message? Bhaiya, I'm not joking. As you came into that special room where you said perfume emanates, I got the beautiful fragrance of flowers. It was so unique, and immediately you said that perfume emanates. Yeah. That's true. True, Malaji. I've always sensed that. Even when today morning also, I was standing next to him and I was appreciating uh, Swamiji's jerkin. It was like warm. I said, "Wow, this is looking very warm." Actually, I wanted a picture with him. I cannot directly take the camera. Swamiji selfie, I can't do that. So I looked at his this and it was looking very cozy. I said, "This is looking so beautiful." And I said, "Now this deserves a picture. Now we are going to take a picture of this." And he said, "Okay." And he stood and then I took a selfie. That's how I posted that photograph. So when I was taking the selfie, I was close to him. I felt that fragrance coming from him. He is not a man of putting perfumes or anything like that, but and the smell sometimes it very strongly emanates from him. Sometimes when I'm sitting close to him, also it emanates. So I could see the same smell, like inside this room. There is no agarbatti and all. Nobody lights all those things in that room, but some divine fragrance is there. When the blue room that we entered now, but he is so simple and humble. Like he talks about others. Like once we had gone to Jiva Samadhi of a great mystic here. He did so many leelas here, so many, like how Jesus used to do on the roads, literally like that. Bhagavan Nityananda used to do. And there, when we were sitting in that Jiva Samadhi and we were meditating, and suddenly a beautiful fragrance came, undescribable. It was so beautiful that I just opened my eyes and looked around. Who's burning some incense sticks? And there was nobody at that time. It was afternoon time. The temple was empty. It was locked. And I looked around, I couldn't find anything. I thought it's my mind's play. I again went into it, but I was still getting it. And then when we were returning back, Swamiji was sitting next to me in the car and he was saying, I was meditating and suddenly there was a divine fragrance, which means the Siddha, that Avadhuta was present there. I got jitters. I said, even I got that. He said, even I was astounded. And he also looked around for some agarbatti or something. Nothing was there. It came like a gush of thing. And we both sensed, but nobody else sensed it. So we were talking and others couldn't understand what. So then when that happened, see, others were not getting in. When he and me got it, then he said that is his presence, the Siddha's presence. So they emanate this kind of, especially in Samadhis. So I think he's still talking. Let me see. He's talking to someone. So this is where they prepare the food for kids. And these are the common toilets and bathrooms for the kids. Kids use this because the rest of the things are there already in the ashram rooms are there. So there is just one person. I think that person will go now in 2 minutes. So I'll just wait for 2 minutes. And actually, I wanted to ask him for a live or something today. But then yesterday when I was talking to him in the dinner time, he said he's not keeping much well. He's not feeling very well or something like that. So I didn't want to disturb him. I said, it's okay. Let's not disturb him. So that's the reason I didn't want to do any live with him. Otherwise, I was very keen to do. So he was telling the future plans that he wants to do is something like, a Dhyan Mandir or something. And today we had a talk again where he's okay if I conduct any stuff here also. He said that also, and we are working on that thing also. I think he's waiting for some donations and things to come out for building up that. That is there in that old Mallikarjuna Shivalinga. I think 800 plus years old. So next to that, he has got some land there. Ashram has got. So there they are planning to build up. And I think on Sundays they're planning to educate the children in English and stuff like that. And also give additional material to the children and the 10th standard students here so that they can build up their future, because here it is only Kannada. Kannada doesn't help. They need some supportive education. So they are planning to do. So I was very happy. I said, if it is Sundays, I'll definitely like to pitch in and do whatever I can here So everybody is that way here, pitching into something, and that's how the whole show runs. Something or the other, somebody or the other is pitching in some way. Yes, if you want to come here or meditate or something like that, I the ashram already has a website, nityachetan.org. Nityachetan.org. If you type, or if you type even Anand Ashram Bevinkoppa, it will show you everything in Google, the ratings, the reviews, and the website. Everything is there. So all the books also you'll find there on the website. Those books also, I had the blessed opportunity to be a medium here with Swamiji that time to translate from Kannada to English those days, 10 years back. And even had the fortune of creating their website, which is nityachetan.org. So that's a blessed beauty that I always feel with Bhagwan Nityananda, because this ashram, some or the other way, I have something to connect here because the website thing happened. And even Kanjangad website, Nityananda Ashram of Kanjangad, that also I had the fortune of designing and maintaining. So that's how I get an opportunity to get involved in their projects or be a part of it and continue. So I like to be a part of here also. And he has said, yes, if you, for the retreats, it's all fine. We can. I have not planned anything here, but I can see something happening, and everywhere simultaneously it has come up. Like January, I'm having a retreat in Pune in Rishi Prabhakarji's ashram, Siddha Samadhi Yoga. They have the Rishi Gurukulams, the same, which has all worldwide centers. They have invited me, called a retreat with Jacob. They want to put it in that way, whatever Manojji's idea. So 2 to 3 days, I don't know when the dates. Probably by December, I'll get the dates there. So that's going to happen. And there in Uttarashi, Anantit Maharaj automatically by himself said, if you want to conduct retreats or do anything here, we have all these rooms and all arrangements will be made. Plus, we have a library of all the Vedic scriptures and anything. And if you want guidance also, it can be given. So that's another excellent opportunity. And from there, I came to Tirunamalai from my Himalayan trip. And Tirunamalai I end up, and the people I know there, they are saying, "Bhai, let's have a retreat here, or let's have a session here, because you come here so often." And there are some Westerner friend of mine also who also added up to it and said, "Let's have it here," including Ashok Bhai, in whose house I live. He also last time recommended that we can do that because there are many people who are not uh, not in that shape, and these videos are helping them in some way. I said, okay, if the divine will be, let that happen. And then I come here 2 days later to this place Bevinkoppa, and we have the same topic going on here. So probably it's something that's suppose, I don't know, no plans of my end. Whatever happens, I'm just going with the flow. Yeah, I was just talking to you because there's a visitor there. I think they've gone. Let me just check. So this is all you can see, the sugarcane fields, and a lot of snakes here. Snakes are very common here, cobras. And they are seen on specific days, very much. This is where they make the balbojana. Hundreds and thousands are fed here. Even they work with the schools, provide them with bags, books, pens. Now we heard there is a disease of this animals, the buffaloes are affected. Same like corona, something going on. I never knew this. And now they are rushing some kits of that kind of medicine to the veterinary teams here. Yesterday they were preparing for 50 kits, each cost $1,000, and that's how it's going up there. So all these kind of activities, building up toilets for the villagers, educating the villagers, and all these kind of projects are here, especially the Bhal Bhojan. So if you like to conduct Bal Bhojans here, you can always go to the website. Everything is there. The ashram bank account, everything is there. You can make a transfer and you can directly contact the ashram. I think even Swamiji's mobile number is there in that. So he's that open to visitors. You can speak directly to him also. There's no thing. Or if he's not available also, there are people who manage this place. So they will guide you on that, including the books and your stay and all those things. But anything from my end, you can always drop an messenger message. Swamiji busy ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ, ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ? ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ one second, talking to someone. The steps go up to the accommodation. Okay. ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ, ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ದರ್ಶನ ಬೇಕಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ಲೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಹಿಂದಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲೈವ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Swamiji was talking to somebody here. I said, just requested. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಾಮನ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಹಾಗೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಲೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಬಿಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ದರ್ಶನ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಇದಾರೆ ಏನಂತ ಕೇಳಿ. ಪ್ರಿಯಾನು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ರಿಯಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗುಜರಾತ್ ದಿಂದ ಇಶಾನ್ ಪ್ರಿಯಾ. ಪ್ರಿಯಾಜಿ ಆಪು ಪಹಚಾನೆ? ಅಬೂಜ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ನಮೋ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು
ಇದು ಲೈವ್, ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಈಗ.
ನೀವು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಯ್ತಾ?
ಏನ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಇದೆ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಹಿಂದಿ ಮೇ?
ಶುಭಂ ಸರ್ವದಾ
स्वामी जी का मैसेज,
नित्यम शुभम आनंदम. ओके, उसके आगे क्या है? कुछ नहीं. आनंद में रहना. अच्छा,
ठीक है. नमो नित्यानंद, थैंक यू. He's talking to someone there. That's how cute he is. और क्या मैसेज है? और क्या मैसेज है? नित्यम शुभम आनंदम. That's the message. So I surprisingly went into that. हाँ, बर्तन. They have taken my food. I think I'll go and have my food. All these kids you can see here. Very simple life. ಅಮ್ಮ ಏನಿದು? ಲಾಲ್ ಬಾಜಿ. So I'll take a leave here once. My food is waiting. Lots of divine love and light to all of you. Very happy to share the food and share the joys here from this divine place. Stay blessed.